Well, I did a little pan around uh, so you could see the back wall. When we do the upcoming podcast, and I've got a lot of things I've got to do to get that ready, we will be using that back wall as a backdrop for the podcast. I went ahead and I bought another rolling desk chair. The podcast will be my daughter-in-law, Angelica, we call her Angel, my son Brandon's wife. She's Hispanic, and she just will make me look good. The best way I can describe it. I'll tell you what. I'm having issues with equipment. I've got to read this thing on a camera that came in, and I've got limited time today. I just found out from Val Stout, a good friend of ours that's a teacher at the school where my two grandsons, well, Ashton and Cheyenne. Cheyenne is 18 autistic, Ashton's 16 autistic. Then we have the lovely Zara Rose and Benjamin Jr., who we call the Littles. They're out of school today, but Shy has a parade he's supposed to be in, so here in about an hour and 20 minutes I got to have him at the school superintendent's office, and that means I'll be tied up getting all that done. I've got to finish this and go in the house and attend to things. Plus, I have my tech guy supposed to be getting one of my major computers, my main computers, repaired. So it's been a busy day already. Now, that's all personal stuff that if I post this on both channels, which I'm going to do, then folks will have an insight to the inside of my life. Now, I alluded to something the other day, and I'm going to reiterate something that is becoming common knowledge now. Our military, the Department of Defense, has had capability to manipulate weather for, since the 1940s, late 40s. One of the things they do with hurricanes is they take these hurricane-ready aircraft, big ones, and they drop dry ice down, and this is called seeding. Let me see what. Okay. And they can control the intensity of a hurricane. They can control the direction it travels. I'm hoping this doesn't get stricken by fact checkers on YouTube, but I'll be posting this on YouTube and on my Rumble channel. I am believing they did that with Hurricane Milton. Let me get a sip. Water, H2O. My late father-in-law, Joseph Call, my wife Linda's mother's husband, Joseph Call was a very plain-spoken man and extremely intelligent. A lot of people did not understand how smart the guy was, but he referred to water as Adam's Ale. And that water is my actual favorite beverage. But let me get back to weather modification. In 1962, Lyndon Baines Johnson, among other officials from the United States government, at that time he was vice president, he had to sign an agreement, an accord, if you will, that the United States would not use weather weapons on their enemies. Now, why would they sign that? Well, they signed that because we had the capability and still have the capability to do it. Now, we also have frequency broadcasters. I'm not talking about HAARP, I'm talking about something a little different. That you combine the two, the dry ice and the frequency generators, most people do not understand the context of reality and what actually is. Albert Edward Einstein, he understood something that many people didn't at the time, and that is frequencies, energy controls everything. E equals mc squared. Look it up. Max Planck understood it, and another man, Dr. Raymond Reich, R-E-I-C-H, I think is how it's spelled. These guys were way ahead of their time in how they looked mathematically at energy. We have energy weapons, the United States of America does. We have sonic weapons. All this is now coming out into the public domain. I watched a video yesterday, my wife and I did. We'd retired to our bedroom, and on that video, the two people recording it recorded dry ice in Florida falling down into this guy's yard. Now, dry ice will put off steam when it has water hit it. You look at the old scary movies and fog is rolling. Well, what they do is they lubricate dry ice with water, and it creates fog. And this was happening in these people's backyard, and I don't remember who put the video out, but I did see it. My wife saw it. Milton, in my opinion, was manipulated to intensify and to have the track it had to go across central Florida, and the destruction was awful. People prayed. I prayed for those victims. But like up in North Carolina, they have no idea, not even a rough estimate right now, as to how many people actually died due to Hurricane Helene. They don't know how many have died. I think the last count was 12 or something like that, the people that died due to Hurricane Milton. I have friends that live in Florida, good friends. I'm not going to name them on here. I don't want to embarrass them, but they all checked in to let me know that they were alive and kicking. I have a good friend, Chris Kimball, that let everyone know he is okay. Chris is a real smart guy. He has it going on upstairs. The man is a thinker. And he's somebody I love with all my heart. He's like a brother. I have other folks in Florida that are the same way. And I worried about them, and finally they all checked in to let me know they were doing okay. But what has this got to do with anything? Well, let me lower this a little bit. You don't have to see my be kind sign. You know it's up there. These are perilous times we're living in, folks. They really are. I advocate everyone procure a means to defend themselves. I have several means I utilize. It's incumbent on individuals to really and truly become situationally aware. Be aware of your surroundings. Got to get another sip. you really need to know what is taking place around you at any given time. It's a have-to deal, folks. It really is. Everything is too dangerous these days not to be situationally aware. Many of you, if not most of you, know I spent a great part of my life in law enforcement, but all the way from very small local level up to and including being a federal agent. That's what I did. I am a little ambiguous, I guess, about a lot of the federal people and what they're doing right now. I'm not a political person. I'm apolitical. I realize something many people do not understand, and that is there are others pulling the strings to control what goes on in our lives. It's not the President of the United States. It's not political candidates. It's not Congress. That's all well and good, and it should be that they actually have the means and the ability to make bad guys go away, but they don't. You might not believe that, but they don't. You see posturing in Congress, Democrat and Republican, putting on a grandstand show about, and questioning and being brutal in their questions and all the above. Well, here's the deal, folks. They're toothless. Most people don't understand they're toothless. There's relatively little they can do. Now, sure, there are people that they can put in prison, and they have, but and America, the United States of America, has more prisoners than any other country on earth. You might not believe that, but here is the fact on that. Private prisons are big business. They rake in a huge amount of money, and most people don't have a clue that that's going on. Unfortunately, it is. Will Rogers, many of you may not know who he was. Google him, look him up on a search engine. He was a humorist and really sharp guy, but he made a comment one time. The United States of America has the best politicians money can buy. And that is the truth. It's been that way almost since we became a nation. People in power wanting more power. People wanting power. And self-enrichment at the cost of others. This has been going on for a long time. And it's going to continue until the end. What do I mean by the end? Well, this is going to curtail and finish what I'm bringing up. More and more evidence is being found that Jesus Christ, Yeshua ben Miriam, Joshua the son of Mary, or Emmanuel lived. He was a real person. He was the Son of God. He was conceived with immaculate conception. His mother had never had sexual intercourse. God himself imbued Jesus into her womb. Now, I'm going to get a little philosophical, but here is what you need to know about things. You have the energy realm and you have the atomic realm. The atomic realm is where atoms are congealed together to create something that is solid, tangible. You can touch it. And that's where we live. We live in the atomic realm. Albert Einstein understood that everything is comprised of energy. And the atom is energy in different forms put together, and that creates a solid. So when they learned to split the atom, he, Oppenheimer, the rest of them, they broke into that energy realm. Well, that energy realm is where God lives, because that's what he is. He's pure light, pure love, pure energy. He's the creator. He made everything, including Jesus. Well, it was denoted by Jesus, our Savior, that he would be coming back. And folks, when he comes back, it's going to be a great and it's going to be a terrible day. Great to those of us that love him and are looking forward to him coming back and have accepted him as our Savior, and a terrible day to those that have scoffed and laughed and mocked God. I'll leave it there. I want you to understand this crazy crippled old man with the funny hat loves you. I do. And I want you to concentrate on being kind to others. Now, I got to get off of here. Hopefully soon we'll be doing the podcast. Love you guys. God bless you, and bye.